Welcome back to another race on our championship, and it's the Austrian Grand Prix. This is just me doing all the upgrades and all the activities and stuff. And yeah, so our last race we finished in the points. Let's see if we can keep the momentum going. So this is the Austrian Grand Prix. We're gonna head into our quali now, and this is gonna be our one-shot qualifying lap for this race. Now, as you can tell, I am in the lead so far, and on the mini-map, the red dot that they are just right behind me by a few midgets of a millisecond. But well, you won't know this yet, but our car isn't as quick as most of the big teams' cars on the straights and on these fast corners. So this corner coming up, I don't have a great exit on it, and not even a great entrance onto it, just because our car isn't as fast. Doesn't have much aerodynamics, so not much downforce. Yeah, so it's going to be hard, and Leclerc took me over for first, and now I'm in 8th. Let's see if we can gain some places back on the last two corners. We go in for the last corner, go a bit wide, but we get up 4 places, and we get to 4th from 8th. That was a really good quality there. I was not expecting to get that high, so we are now in a pretty good chance for the race.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Leclerc, Hamilton and Max Verstappen. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
Yeah. Grand Prix time.
Welcome to the beautiful Styrian Mountains for another chapter in the story of the Austrian Grand Prix.
If you didn't know this, it's one of the quickest Grand Prix. I think it feels like it feels, as a driver's perspective, shortest that I've done.
Today, then, with 7
What? He just copied me.
Making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Now, Anthony Davidson, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today for the midfield teams? All trying to put some pressure on or disrupting things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you know, you got your own race to run. I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running second and third, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Thomas,
I don't know if this caught your eye. Back when it was going through and you saw me in the little animation, I have a new helmet on. I think it's pretty good. You can go back and see it if you want. Yeah, so we qualified 4th, and our rival did 16th, so you can tell we're doing a lot better than him, but we have to wait till they get the race. And our teammate, he needs to step up. We're qualifying in the points most of the time, and we're most of the time finishing in the points, but when we don't, we want Alessi to step up. So let's hope he does step up, but we'll be trying to hire better. Sorry, Jeff just interrupted me, but we'll be trying to, you know, get a better teammate maybe next season, depending on how well he does, or how badly he does. Anyway, we're now Verstappen, we're behind Verstappen. Sainz trying to go up the right side of me, someone trying to go out the outside, but I get a late break, but a good exit, and I get past Verstappen and Hamilton. I went round the outside of Verstappen, went round the inside of Hamilton. Had a really good exit there and a really good braking zone. Now I'm behind Leclerc, and Leclerc is in the lead, coming out of the slowest corner. Hamilton is behind me, Verstappen is 4th, and Bottas is 5th. There was a little bit of, I think, a bump there, but I'm not sure with who. And, yeah, so we've got now got Hamilton on our tail and Verstappen. Let's see if we can keep this for a lot of the laps. Leclerc is now in the front. Hopefully we'll be able to catch up, but obviously you don't know this. But Ferrari have made a great step up in their car manufacture, and they've got a really nice car. It was really good in these corners that are fast, and yeah. So yeah, I'm now second in the Austrian Grand Prix. Leclerc, second fastest lap. This is now on lap 3 on Verstappen's view. I go around the first corner and I make bit of an outside exit. Hamilton gets taken over by Verstappen. Verstappen trying to go around the inside. I squeeze him onto the grass. He makes it through, but can he keep it around the third chicane, sorry? No, he can't. I make it through the inside. Is Hamilton going to get back round Verstappen? No, he's not, because he's got DRS. He's going to try. Can he? No, he can't. Hamilton can't get around the outside of Verstappen, and Verstappen keeps third. That is good for Verstappen. He retook over Hamilton. He nearly took over me, as I tried to defend from Hamilton and forgot about Verstappen, but I kept it round the inside. Whew! Leclerc in the lead though, with me, Verstappen and Hamilton squabbling all the time. Leclerc, that gap is going to fill and fill, especially with him getting fast laps. It's just going to keep getting bigger, and that could be that means a really good race for Leclerc. Anyway, here we go. We are now going to pit. This is lap 8. Few races, it's the same. It's been the same for a lot of the laps, so we're pitting in lap 8. Oh, I go off the track a bit there. That means Verstappen's going to try and go around the inside. We wheel to wheel, we hit, but I keep control of the skid. We hit again, but I hit his base so it doesn't do that much damage. And I just keep it around the inside. And now I'm going in the pits, so there's no need to fight Hamilton either, as I am now going in the pits. I'm going to go at a certain speed, and yeah, here we go. There's a bunch of people in pits. Bottas in pits, Verstappen in pits. Yeah, there's a Bottas in pits, Verstappen in pits, Daniel Ricciardo in pits. Yeah, Charles Leclerc was in pits, but he's ahead of everyone. He's not first, obviously, but he comes back. Does he come out in the points? Yes, he does come out in the points. That's really good for him. He's basically got a really clean race ahead of him. Anyway, I had a little bit of wing damage from banging over Verstappen on that last exit there before the pit stop. And that means our pit stop took ages compared to everyone else. And we are 19th out of the 22 races in this Grand Prix. And that is bad. So let's see if we can make a couple places back. We were keeping up and defending off Hamilton. So I think we can get past these Latifi and stuff. But Ricciardo, as you can see, must have had a bit of wing damage too, because he's in 17th. We're going round. And now we've got to try and catch up with Latifi. So Ricciardo ahead of us. I think it's Mick Schumacher in front of Ricciardo. And we're going to get a nice exit out of here on Latifi here, as you can see. We're getting a nice exit. We're going to try and go around the inside of Latifi here. I've got really good speed and pace. Ahead is Daniel Ricciardo turning in. Yellow flag. Daniel Ricciardo hits Mick Schumacher. Daniel Ricciardo's going flying. I'm hitting into the back of Daniel Ricciardo. I quickly pit just in the nick of time. I got a 5-second penalty for that. Mick Schumacher get a 5-second penalty. Daniel Ricciardo for banging into Mick Schumacher. And I hit into Daniel Ricciardo because he span out, which I don't think is fair for me to get a 5-second penalty. But that I got a new wing, and now I got a no wing. It instantly gone. This is a replay. This is before Daniel Ricciardo's crash. Fernando Alonso hit into Stroll, which hit into my teammate who was going into the pits. That's very poor driving from Fernando Alonso. And I think it's Bottas who got hit by Fernando Alonso into my teammate. But that Daniel Ricciardo is just smashed into Mick Schumacher. He tried to take him around the inside, but it looks like he didn't have any grip. And he hit Schumacher. Mick Schumacher got caught, and that's his wing flying off. My wing flying off of him. And that's Bottas, who's also out from that crash with Fernando Alonso and my teammate. So that was poor driving from a lot of the drivers here, and mayhem. That has ruined a lot of people's races, and that changes it up a lot. Yeah, so Bottas is out. Daniel Ricciardo got a penalty, same as Mick Schumacher. Now it's a safety car, as you saw all the wing. There was so much wing damage and so many wings flying on that corner. I'm surprised no one got a puncture, as that can happen. Anyway, I am now in last. Bottas is in last, obviously, but he DNF'd because he went off. And that means Mick Schumacher's dealt his penalty just before me. I barely got out of that there. I hit Daniel Ricciardo and I barely got into the pits to replace my wing. So I just got a new one. And oh, Yuki Tsunoda's out of session. That's another driver who's out of session. Is it a crash? No, it looks like an engine failure. He doesn't look like he's going out of gear 3 and he's going down. Yeah, looks like an engine failure. That is unfortunate for the AlphaTauri team, and Yuki Tsunoda is obviously now disappointed with that. We're catching the safety car queue. Now that was crazy. Oh, it looks like we've got some wing damage. I wonder where that's from. We're going to see a replay on where my wing damage is from, because I'm not sure where that's from, as I got a new one, didn't I? Oh, okay, in our pit stop, it looks like they replenished our... Because we had a little bit of damage, when we had no wing, and we went in after the crash, it looks like they replenished our wing with the old one that I had when I did a little bit of damage. And I had to stay in the pits for a while. Oh, by the way, Daniel Ricciardo's on softs, which I think is good for him. Because obviously, there's only, like, there's only 6 laps left. So that means Daniel Ricciardo's going to be a lot quicker than everyone in this race. I'm not sure if anyone else has softs on, but that is crazy. Anyway, poor driving by Daniel Ricciardo there, hitting into Mick Schumacher, who then gets a penalty too for maybe blocking Ricciardo. I think what it was, maybe that Ricciardo was trying to go in the pits, but Mick Schumacher was in the way and they crashed. Ricciardo skidding. There was so many debris there, as well as the crash in front of them where the yellow flag came from, where Fernando Alonso tried to go in the pits, but Bottas was in the way, with my teammate who was going in the pits slowing down. That was a crazy outcome, and now this is a completely different race as everyone's bundled up. I know I'm last, but I think I can make a bunch of places, even maybe get into the points. That's what we're going to try and do here. Anyway, so the safety car is out, and we can start racing on the line here. Alright, green flags, we're racing again, and I'm now going to try and catch Ricciardo. I can't get around the inside. He's trying to take around Schumacher. Can I get around the outside of Schumacher? I'm trying to go around the outside of Schumacher and Daniel Ricciardo. We're going to go free on to the second chicane. Now the third chicane. On the third chicane. Mick Schumacher falls behind, but I get around the outside of Daniel Ricciardo and Mick Schumacher. That was an amazing takeover by me. Now I'm trying to challenge Mazepin. A bit of a bump there, but I get through the inside. I've now got a really good exit, and I'm trying to get past Russell. Can I do it? Oh, we hit a bit there, because Russell's going really slowly. I'm going to see if I can take over Russell in these 2 corners. No, I can't. No, I can't take him around here. Oh, Latifi's going in the pits. Maybe he didn't pit in time. Oh, they're going for a 2-stop, I see. Oh, wait, no, Latifi's got small... Okay, I'm not sure what's going on here, but a few people went in the pits. Looks like they all had softs on, so they're probably going for the double pit stop. Let's see here. Yeah, they're putting on mediums when there's only 4 laps to go, so I don't know what they're doing here. But they must have been extending their softs from the start of the race, which is too much. So they had to switch it. Anyway, this is me overtaking Raikkonen through the inside. Now I'm 11th, 1 place away from the points, and a lot of places from where I qualified. I'm now catching up with Stroll. Is DRS enabled? I'm not sure. I don't know. DRS is enabled this lap, but I can't use it. Anyway, don't need DRS, as I go around the inside of Stroll, squeezing him out to the outside, and I make it through the inside of Stroll with just my pace there. Look at how different our car is compared to some of the cars in the back. Anyway, I'm now trying to take on Daniel Ricciardo and Raikkonen. I squeezed through the middle of them. I squeezed through the middle of them. You now be wondering, like, wait, didn't you pass Daniel Ricciardo and Raikkonen? I had a bit of a skid, but my footage, I don't know, I didn't film it. Had a bit of a skid, and that meant I was pushed back a bit, but so was a lot of people. So I took over Raikkonen and Ricciardo again, as you saw, through the middle, just barely not touching. And now I'm in the points. Alonso, Gasly, and I'm not sure who's ahead of them. I think that's Vettel. Yeah, Vettel. They're all squabbling, which meaning I'm going to catch up, and I might be able to take Alonso just on this corner here. I'm going to think of it. I'm not going to do it, though. Oh, I am not. Oh, I tried to do it, which then cost me a lot of speed. But anyway, he locks up, so I get a really good exit on him on that chicane, as he locks up, which then gives him a bad exit, and I get past. Yeah, we're in P9, like just Jeff said. We're going to get a good exit. We've already got better acceleration than the AlphaTauri, so we're ahead of Gasly now. Going to go around the outside of Vettel. Oh, hit Vettel's tyre, but no damage, luckily. And that's a freeway down to the third chicane. And I come out glorious. Amazing in that. We hit, I get a warning. That was bad driving from me. I lost control a bit, as you saw. But I got around the inside of both Gasly and Vettel because they were squabbling. So now I'm ahead of both of them in P7. And as you can see, Verstappen and Hamilton, they're in 6 and 5. They're not at the top, all because of this safety car and the crash between Fernando Alonso and a bunch of other people. And this is the last lap where I keep 7th. And Charles Leclerc has kept first the whole way round. And me, Verstappen and Hamilton have been battling for ages, but I can't catch up with them. And I am in 7th. That is an amazing race. Come on, Jeff. More enthusiasm from you there. We got in the points from being last twice. Sebastian Vettel got driver of the day, the guy I kind of hit when I overtook him. That was a really good race. A really exhilarating race.
Such an incredible result today.
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it.
A double podium for Ferrari there.
In a good position.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today.
As I said, Ferrari took a big jump in their manufacturing, and they're a lot faster than a lot of people now. And that's really good for them. They've overtaken... I'm not sure about that yet. But they've done really well with their car. And now they did a double podium. Sergio Perez pulling it in for Red Bull team. As Verstappen is like 5th. Battling with me and Hamilton all race. Anyway. So what a incredible race. The crashes. The safety car.
That lead has taken a bit of a knock today. Some amazing talents out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to say Sebastian Vettel certainly caught my eye during today's race. Incredible driving.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Red Bull pull further ahead in the standings. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time?
Yeah, as you see, I'm 5th. Charles Leclerc taking me over. And in the constructions, Ferrari, yeah, the construction championship, Ferrari takes us over. And now we're fighting with McLaren for 4th.
Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
Yeah, I think we're really enjoying getting in the points.
Not a great day for your teammate today. What do you think went wrong?
He shouldn't demote himself, but still, he needs to try and get in the points. We need him, otherwise we're going to lose our construction championship. Anyway, I beat Giovinazzi again, and our team acclaim is up to 10 now, so we can get a lovely new sponsor. We're going to choose a nice sponsor that goes with, not really our theme, but we're going to go with Savant. yeah, so that's our sponsor. See you guys another time.